Dr. Iqbal Kazi and Dr. Vibhu Jain. It is non-profit organization building towards network and community that provides support, engagement and assistance to Indian students while applying for the scholarships in Korea and also while staying in Korea. ISRK hosts a lot of webinars regarding the education system in Korea, which you can check out on our Facebook group as well as on the YouTube channels. You can follow us on YouTube and as well as on Instagram, where you can get a lot of information regarding the events and webinars. And as well as we do host a lot of events like Diwali, Holi in Korea. So we are not just hosting it online, but we are also making the Indians' life comfortable in Korea so that they can feel similar to the Indian vibes with the Indian vibes. So now I will like to invite Dr. Iqbal Kazi, who is also the president of ISRK, and he is a research associate professor at the Department of Chemical Engineering, Hanyang University, Seoul campus, to give the welcome speech. Iqbal, sir.
Thank you, Nupur. Hello, everyone. A very good evening and good afternoon to students joining from India. So I welcome you all for ISRK webinar 2025. As part of ISRK educational program, we organize these webinars every year to help the students to know about the scholarship programs and opportunities they can get in Korea to pursue their higher education. So this is our first session. Today we are doing on Global Korea scholarship, and we have very wonderful speakers from different streams and different programs from BS, Masters, and PhD. And I hope you all will get benefited with this session and get all information. And I also wish you all the best. Thank you, Nupur. I think we can continue with our session.
Okay, sir. Um, so we will also have a Q&A session at the end of this webinar. So stay connected with us till the end if you have any queries after this session. As well as you can type your questions while our speakers are having their presentation in the chat box. You can write your queries and the other speakers or me, we can like respond to you in the chat box. So without any further delay, I would request our first speaker, Neelam Atsul, who is doing PhD in Civil Engineering at Daegu University. She is from Mumbai. After completing her postgraduate studies, she worked for 4 years in project management consultancy firm, and then last year she was honored with NID Academic Excellence Award for her achievement and research academic and research achievements. So Neelam, I will hand over to you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Nupur, for the introduction. Now, I like to begin my presentation on the introduction on GKS and K-GKS. Okay. So, let's start with GKS introduction. It's a Korean government scholarship. It offers international students the chance to pursue academic degree in Korea, fostering global education exchange and strengthening friendship between Korea and participating countries. Plus, there are two types of application: GKS-G, GKS that means grad, and GKS-U means GKS undergrad. For GKS-G, you can apply either for master's degree or doctoral degree. And if you don't have Korean language training or Korean language topic levels, so you compulsory has to take 1 year Korean language training, and after getting topic level, a certain topic level as per NID, you can start your degree program. If you're for master's degree, then 1 year of Korean language training plus 2 years of degree course, and for doctoral, 1 year of Korean language plus 3 years of degree course. And the application for GKSG has been started from the last week. So check out the links. Plus GKS undergrad, you can apply for bachelor's degree, and the application for GKSU starts from the September. Moving on to eligibility, nationality. The parents and applicant must hold the citizenship from another country than Korea. Plus level of education. If you are applying for PhD, you should have bachelor's and master's degree certificates. If you are applying for master's, then you should have bachelor's degree certificate. And if you are applying for undergrad, you should have your high school certificates. And for the grades, it is 80% or above. You should have 80% and above on the scale of 100%, or ranked in the top 20% of the class. In my case, in engineering field, it is very difficult to get 80% and above. So I was among the top 20% of my college, my university. So I asked them for this kind of letter, and I attached that with my application. And if your grading system is in CGPA, then you should have 2.64 out of 4, 2.8 out of 4.30, 2.91 out of 4.5, 3.23 out of 5. Plus the age limit, there is like you should be under 40 age, and health, you should be in good health conditions, like both mentally and physically. Moving on to GKS benefits, they provide you the flight tickets from India to Korea, that is one-way flight ticket. Plus for the tuition fees, everything is covered. Everything is like paid by the government. That all the tuition fees is covered in the scholarship. Plus for the living allowances is 14.16 million Korean won per year during Korean language. That is 1.175 million Korean won per month, converted to 8.42 lakhs yearly rupees, plus 69.87 rupees per month. So similarly, during your degree course, you will get 15.72 million Korean won per year. That is 1.308 Korean won, 1.308 million Korean won per month. And if you are in the research program, you will get 19.8 million Korean won per year. And from this monthly allowances, there will be the deduction of dorm fees during Korean language training. And the dorm fees will depend on the region you are in, and like based on the facilities you are getting in the dormitory, the fees varies. And the insurance, that is health insurance, monthly you have to pay 75,000 Korean won. That is automatically deducted from your bank account. So after this whole deduction, you will get that monthly account, monthly allowances that will be reduced than the on the screen, the monthly allowances. And the application process, there are two types of application process: embassy track and university track. In embassy track, you directly apply to Korean embassy in India. There are only 25 student quota for Indian students, and there is you can choose up to 3 universities in during the application process. Like you can fill up to 3 universities in the application. In university track, you have to choose one university and you have to submit your application directly to the university. There are 44 students quota for Indian students, and you only can select only one university. And the selection process, there are embassy track and university track. In embassy track, there is 3 rounds, and in university track, there are 2 rounds. In embassy track, the first round consists of document screening by embassy and interview by the embassy. And after that, the embassy will notify NID of the selected student. Then NID will screen the student, and after that, the university will screen the student in the third round, and NID will finally announce the results. In university track, there are only 2 rounds. So first, university will screen the application and conduct the interview. Then university will notify NID. NID will screen the students, and after that, the final announcement will be done by the NID. Further to moving on to KGKS. KGKS is the Gyeongsan Bukdo Regional Government Scholarship. It is established to address the talent shortage caused by the population decline. It offers foreign student opportunity to study in Gyeongsan Bukdo region, fostering a skilled workforce for the regional high-tech industry. Uh, this KGKS scholarship funds only master's and doctoral program in science and engineering field at only 4 universities. That is Daegu University in Gyeongsang City, Pohang University of Science and Technology, Pohang, Kumo National Institute of Technology, Gumeshi, Andong National University in Andong. And application for this starts from February, and you need to check each university website for the application guidelines and application deadline. And the scholarship are similar to GKS. Like they will provide you the flight ticket from India to Korea, plus tuition fees covered by the regional government, plus living allowances is similar to GKS. That is 1.175 million Korean won per month during your Korean language, 1.308 million Korean won during your monthly during your degree, and from this allowances, your dorm fees or rent or health insurance will be deducted monthly. Plus, the more additional point is after completion of degree, whatever degree, masters or PhD you are doing, there are you need to work in this region for 3 years. Either you pursue your higher degree. If you are a master student, you can go for PhD. For then, if you want to work, you can work in similar region for additional 3 years. And as per the news article, I have seen that the regional government has signed a MOU between the local companies such as Posco Chemical, EcoPro, PNT, and Gyeongbuk Institute of Bioindustry to connect scholars to job after graduation. So there is no worry after for the job after degree. The selection process is similar to a GKS university track. First, you will submit your application to university directly. University will screen your application, screen your documents, then ask you for the interview, email you for the interview, and after interview, they will select the candidate and send the selected candidate to Gyeongsan Bogdo government, and they will screen the documents and they will finalize the students, and after that, they will publish the selected student. And final is my suggestion and tips. Do not submit repeated applications. Like if you want to submit for embassy, you can submit embassy at a time. And if you want for university, you can submit for the university. Do not submit simultaneously both the tracks. But there is one catch. It's like if you submitted your application to embassy, but your application rejected during first round of embassy track, then you can directly apply for the university track. But you need to have good idea about which university's final deadline is when. So like in my case, my first I applied for the embassy track, and during first round my application got rejected, but I was knowing which university deadline is yet the applications are still open for university track, and I applied to Daegu University through university track, and my application further got selected. But like if you lose during first round in embassy, then you can apply for the university track. Plus, you need to check thorough research about eligibility set by each university and each department, because as per NID, you need to have level 3 during first year of Korean language training to start your degree program. But some universities have you need to have level 4 of the topic level to start your degree program. So you should have clear idea. If you are selecting a university, you should have what their language training language level eligibility is. Plus, if you are like PhD and master student, you should do thorough research about professor's research area, university and university facilities, because some of the students they want to come Korea, but they don't check thoroughly about the professor and professor's research area, and after coming here they regret their choices, because professor's research area and their research area is very different, and like professor want them to do the research area in professor's research area, like, but they don't have any interest. But because of that, to avoid that problem, you should do thorough research of university and professor. Plus, final is email to your professor. If you are MS and PhD student, it is better to email, and it is okay if you don't get reply. It is okay, because in my case, I didn't got my professor's reply, but still I got, like, I after joining here, it is better if you email and contact the professor, because further after coming here, the study process will be easier. And like some professors offer lab works, and they sometimes they pay some amount of stipend. But if you have for like earlier prior communication with them, it is very smoother. So thank you for now. That said, I'm done with my presentation, and thank you for the list for your time and attention.
Thank you so much, Neelam. It was really insightful to listen the basics about the GKS, what are the benefits and what needs to be taken care of. And of course, when the aspirants are when they are sending emails to the professor, I came across such cases that they spam professors. So you have to be very patient when you are like sending the emails to professor and wait for at least like a month or two before you follow up with them. So don't spam them. And also I want to add to her presentation that in the when you're checking the professor's research, you can also not just by by the Google that you're like looking at what kind of work is going in some kind of university or something. I would rather suggest you to visit the website, and in website you can see that within the departments where you want to apply, there are like different links available for the what kind of labs are available. You can click on that and you can see each professor's profile and what kind of research is going on in that lab, and then you can contact the professor, but please don't spam them. So yes, thank you so much, Neelam, and we will move forward to our second speaker, Jannat Shreya, who is GKS 2024 undergraduate, and she's from Embassy Track. She is from Bihar, Patna, and currently studying business administration at SNU. She has also acceptance to the other deemed universities across world like University of Melbourne, Sydney, etc. In her free time, she creates content on her social media like Instagram and YouTube. And I will pass the platform to Jannat.
Thank you so much for the introduction. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, so as I am an undergraduate scholar from the embassy track, so I'll be focusing on the embassy track application, and also I'll tell you the tips to win the GKS scholarship, which is applicable for master's, PhD, as well as bachelor's. So as Neelam already told you about the two tracks, embassy and university, so I'll not be going into much detail. I'll just tell you a summary of what she said. So the basic difference about between the embassy and the university track is that in the embassy track, there are less number of seats. So it's going to be more competitive. Whereas for university track, there are more number of seats available. So it's comparatively less competitive. Also for embassy track, you have choice for selecting 3 universities. So you can select 3 universities of your choice, and it's upon the universities whether 3 of them accept you or one accepts, the other reject. So you have 3 options. But for the university track, you have just one option available to apply to just one university of your choice. Then the embassy track process is quite long, so it may take more time because there are 3 rounds of selection. First from the embassy, then the NIED, and then the universities finally. But for the university track, there are only 2 rounds of selection, so the wait is quite shorter. So it's like first you give your application to the university, and then the university sends it to NIED, and then the selection process is complete. So 3 rounds and 2 rounds. And then for the embassy track, you submit your documents directly to the Embassy of South Korea in your country, which is for India, it's in New Delhi. And for the university track, you're submitting your documents directly to the university of your choice. You're sending your documents directly to South Korea, the university you want to apply. And for embassy track, there's more paperwork because you're going to submit 4 sets of documents for embassy track. But for the university track, you're just going to submit 1 set of documents. So what is 4 sets of documents? How to submit that? So I'll be talking about that further in the presentation. So if you're thinking of applying to the embassy track, or even if you're not thinking, just for your knowledge, there's a difference between the embassy track for bachelor's and the embassy track for master's. So the key differences which you need to know is that if you want to apply to Sky University, which are like Seoul National University, Korea University, or Yonsei University, or other top universities in South Korea for undergraduate, then you must apply through the embassy track, because if you want to apply to these top universities, you can only apply to these universities through the embassy track and not through the university track. But for the masters, there's no restriction. If you want to apply to these universities, you can apply through the embassy track also, or through the university track also. So there is no restriction. And also, the bachelor's embassy track, there is only one quota, one seat. So for undergraduate, if you're applying to the embassy track, just one candidate will be selected from the entire of India, from the whole India. And for masters, there are comparatively more number of seats, 25, which is still less, but there are 25 seats which will be shared by the master's applicants and the PhD applicants. Okay. So moving further, if I talk about the eligibility for GKSU, so Neelam has already told you about the eligibility for GKS undergraduate all in detail, but just summarizing the key points for key points referring to the grades, the transcripts, then you need to have above 80% in your high school, and or you should be in the top 20% of your class. So it's not that you have to fulfill both of the criteria, but any one will do. So many people also have confusion in whether they have to score above 80% or be in the top 20% of their class in the final year of their high school, like in 12th grade, or it's talking about the whole of high school, which includes 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th. So the confusion is that like people usually think that they have to be score above 80% in their class 12, like the board's examination. But actually that's not true, because it says above 80% in high school. And high school consists of 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And you can, like some people even go for 10th, 11th, 12th. So it's your choice whether you want to consider 9th or not. Both are fine. So the average of what you've scored in your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 10th, 11th, 12th should be above 80%. Not just being above 80% in 12th, but above 80, the average should be above 80%. The average of 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 10th, 11th, 12th. I hope you're getting it. Then if we look at the documents for GKSU, so some of these documents are also required not only for GKS undergraduate, but also for master's and PhD as well, which include the proof of citizenship. So proof of citizenship is required for all the applicants, whether they are in bachelor's, PhD, master's, anything. So for proof of citizenship, you can submit your birth certificate, and I would recommend you to submit your birth certificate, and don't go for submitting your Aadhaar card. You can submit your passport also, but I would say submitting a birth certificate is really important. Or you can submit your voter ID card, but strictly recommended birth certificate. Then we go for proof of citizenship of your parents. So you can submit either your parents' birth certificate or their voter ID card. Now, some of the people say their parents don't have their birth certificate, or the parents have misplaced their birth certificate, then it's fine. You can just submit their voter ID cards. And then if we talk about the high school graduation certificate, this is for undergraduate. So high school graduation certificate, some of the people say that their school doesn't issue a graduation certificate, but that's not true. The only thing is that the name is sometimes different. So for me, I got my graduation certificate, but it's not called a graduation certificate. For me, it was a migration certificate. So if you're getting your migration certificate, that's also a graduation certificate. If you're getting a document after you've graduated from the school, just look at it, whether it lists all your courses you've taken, and also it has the date of your graduation, then it can serve as a graduation certificate, that document. Also, even after that you say that you don't have your graduation certificate, then you can just submit your class 12 board's mark sheet. So when you look at your class 12 board's mark sheet, then it says high school graduation certificate cum mark sheet, which means it can be served as a certificate. So just submit your class 12th mark sheet. It's going to be your graduation certificate. Then high school transcript. So many people usually they are mistaken about the meaning of the term transcript. They think that it's mark sheet. Transcript and mark sheet are not synonymous. They are different. So if I talk about the difference briefly, then mark sheet is a sheet which lists the grades or the marks you've got in one class, in one grade, like the mark sheet of class 9, the mark sheet of class 10th, But on the other hand, the transcript is a sheet which lists the grades you've secured in more than one class, like the transcript of class 9, 10th, 11th, 12th. So transcript of high school. So here it says you have to submit your high school transcript, which means a sheet which has your grades of class 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay. So now, some of the schools issue transcripts, but some schools don't. So in case your school doesn't, you just need to go and ask your principal whether she can issue you a transcript for your application. But still, if she does not agree, then you can just submit individual mark sheets of class 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 10th, 11th, 12th. Individual mark sheets will also do, no problem. And then recommendation letter, you just have to ask your teacher to submit to give you a recommendation letter, fill out the form. You don't have to do anything in that. Your teachers will be doing that. But I would recommend that you should get a recommendation letter from a teacher who knows you well, who can write good stuff about you. And then, okay, some of these documents, like all of these documents except the recommendation letter, should be apostilled. So now some things to be cleared is that sometimes what people do is they are going to submit their parents' proof of citizenship. Like if you're submitting voter ID card of your parents, then you take one sheet and print your mother's voter ID card and your father's voter ID card in one paper and get that apostille. It's not going to work like that. You have to take separate printouts of mother's and father's voter ID card and apostille each of them. And for another thing, for proof of citizenship, either of your proof of citizenship or your parents' proof of citizenship, never include an Aadhaar card. Because if you go online on Google and you search, then you'll find that Aadhaar card is a proof of residentship and not citizenship. I hope you know the difference between citizen and resident. So passport, voter ID card, or birth certificate can be proof of citizenship. Aadhaar card is a proof of residentship, so don't submit that. Okay. Moving forward, so for the embassy track, the selection process consists of 3 stages. So first is the embassy selection process, in which you send the documents to the embassy screens your documents, goes through your documents, and then selects a number of candidates. So those candidates who like some candidates are rejected, some are selected. So those candidates who are selected, they go forward to have an interview with the embassy. So they have an interview, and again, some people are rejected and some are selected. So those people who are selected after the interview, they get selected from the embassy process. The embassy stage selection is complete. Then we go to the second stage, which is NIED, National Institute of International Education Department of Korea. So your documents are sent to this department, and then they go through through your documents again. They basically check whether you're eligible, whether you're qualified, whether your documents are real and they're not fake. So after NID has done the document screening and you are selected, then you go forward. You have passed the NID stage. Then your application goes forward to the 3 universities of your choice. And all of these universities go through your document. And if they want, they can conduct an interview. It's not a necessary process, but if they want, they can conduct an interview. And then you give an interview with the university, and like whichever university selects you, you're finally selected for the embassy track for the GKS scholarship. Okay. So as I told you that you have to submit 4 sets of documents. So how are you going to submit that? It's for undergraduate, master's, PhD, all of you who are going to apply for the embassy track. So first of all, you have to submit, you need to know that you have to submit your documents, be it like 4 set of documents, you have to send it directly to the embassy of South Korea in New Delhi. So the one set of the 4 sets should be the original set, the original document. It does not mean that you are going to submit your original birth certificate or your original transcript. Rather, it means that you take your original birth certificate, you go to your notary, you take a photocopy out of the original birth certificate, take a photocopy, get it notarized as a true copy, and get the true copy apostilled. So now, if you do all this, if you repeat the process for all the sets of required documents, or for all the required documents, then you make one set of true copies, which are apostilled. Now what you do is you take the set and you have to make three photocopies of this same set, and then you arrange everything together, and then you have 4 sets. I hope you are getting it. And then we go forward about the most important thing about tips to win the scholarship. This applies to all of you, be it bachelor's, master's, PhD, all of you. Personal statement is very important for if you want to apply to international universities more than the grades. For Indian education system, we focus more on grades. For other education systems, also they focus on grades, but they also focus on who you are as a person and also what have you done beyond your studies. So personal statement is a very important part of your application wherein you can show who you are beyond your mark sheets. So make sure that you have to ace this section of the application. So if you look at the name, it's called personal statement, which means that you have to show who you are as a person and not just what you have achieved. Okay, so let's start from the first point, build a storyline. So sometimes people just go on writing like, I am Jannat Shreya from Patna, Bihar. I searched on Google this scholarship and I really wanted to apply to this scholarship. I would be blessed or fortunate if I get this scholarship. No, you're not going to write like this because this spoils the interest of the readers. They are going to read like thousands of applications which will have the same starting, and they don't want to know who you are if you don't have a good start, if you don't catch the attention of the readers. If you go on on social media, then when you are scrolling through your social media, the video which catches your attention the first 3 seconds, you stay on that video to like you watch the whole reel completely when they catch your attention in the first 3 seconds. So you have to follow the same principle when you're writing your essay. So for that, build a storyline. Say like one day I got up and I saw this. Like you can go on, like if you write like this, you want to know what happened further. So make a whole theme of your essay and build a storyline and write whatever you want to within that storyline framework. Okay. The second thing is show, don't tell. So if you're interested, for example, if you're interested in business administration, don't just write, I am passionate about business administration. I want to pursue that. No, if you write like that, everyone is going to write like that. You're not going to be different from others who have written the same thing. So rather than writing it, show. How are you going to show? By talking like, I was really, I really want to know how the business framework works. So I had the opportunity to work as an intern in this and this company, and I managed this thing and that thing, and I helped with their marketing strategy. In this, everyone who is going to read will know, oh, this person is really passionate about business administration. So he did this and this thing. So in here, you're not telling anything, rather you're showing. So you're doing two things at the same time. You're creating an impact. You're also telling them that you're doing three things. You're also telling them that you are passionate about business administration, and you're also talking about one of your achievements, but indirectly. Okay. Then the other thing is it's an essay about who you are and not what you've achieved. So some people go on and write it in a very technical manner, like I participated in this competition and I won the third position. I was really happy about that. No, you're not going to write like that because they don't want to know what you have achieved, because you have a separate column to write that. You have a separate section like other documents wherein you can, submit your certificates about what you've achieved and things like that. Here, they want to know who you are beyond your achievements. So make it more personal. Make it, even if you're talking about your achievements, write it in a way that how those achievements helped to make a part of you, how those achievements helped you build your personality, build you into a person who you are today. I hope you're getting it. Then the last point is make it more personal and emotional. So emotional doesn't mean that you're going to add a sad story. It means that you're going to give a personal touch to the essay. It's a personal statement. So if you look at the prompt of the personal statement, it says that mention one experience which impacted you in your life. Why do you think they have given you this prompt? Because they want to know who you are. So utilize this section and write it in a more personal way. So even if sometimes people are writing something personal, like in class 10th, I I did this, and so this happened. They usually write it in a very formal way. You have to be formal, but you have to add a personal touch to that. So one tip in which you can know this is like if you're, for example, if you want to pursue business administration, like me, then you can add a personal touch by talking about something very personal in your life, like a story which only you know or your closed ones know. Like when I was small, I saw my one day I flipped the pages of my father's diary, and then I wanted to know how these number things work. So I asked my father, and he replied this kind of this thing. So this is a particular story which is personal to you, which is unique to you. So one tip to know how whether my essay is personal or not is after you have completed your essay, read it yourself and think whether this story is unique to you or other people can also have similar experience like you. Whether after you read your essay, does this essay remind you of you, or is it very general? If the essay reminds you of who you are, then it's a personal essay. Congrats, you have aced your personal statement session. Okay, then we move forward and we talk about the study plan. So the study plan here, you have to have a balance between being personal and being technical. You cannot go with the flow and be very personal here, but also have a flow of being little personal and little technical about which courses you want to take. So first tip is show your genuine passion. So if like I told you in the personal statement slide also, that if you're passionate about something, show that you're passionate. Don't tell that you're passionate. So if you're pursuing psychology, then show that you're passionate by saying that I worked in this organization which works for mental health people, like which helps the mentally ill people, and when I observed the mentally disabled people closely, I got to know this. So here this shows that you want to pursue psychology. So for understanding psychology, like how psychology works and the mentally ill people, things like that. So you show that you genuinely are passionate about pursuing psychology. So before even pursuing psychology, you worked in these organizations. So it shows that you're generally passionate. The other thing is mention works, articles, and professors. So you don't have to like explicitly mention that one professor from this university researched about this and this thing, and I'm really passionate about knowing more. No, rather you have to fit in this section in your essay very naturally. Like you have to fit in the whole section, like for example, if you are generally, for example, if you're generally passionate about something, like if you're passionate about psychology, then things will be very easier for you because you will like to read researches. So go through the researches of the professors of your department, of your university, and read the research papers, and then say that this professor from this professor so and so from this department researched about this and this thing, in which I was curious about knowing how this thing works, how this and this thing works. And I think if we do this and this thing to this and this, then something great can happen like this. So it's not just about mentioning the professors and their articles, but also about showing your opinion, what you have gained from the article, and what you would want to contribute to the research or the articles of the professors. So why this thing always works is that if you're interested in clinical psychology and you read something and you're very interested in that, you can add your own point of view that if we add this thing to this process, then this can happen. Then what happens is the embassy people are going to review your application, and then the NID people are going to review their application. They don't know in great detail about these researchers. They don't know great detail about engineering or psychology. But if they read these things which you've mentioned, they will be like, oh, this person knows really a lot about her subject. She looks really passionate. You're getting right what I'm saying. So then we move forward, mention some of the courses you want to take. Like Neelam mentioned, you have to research about your university. Do a thorough research about all the courses which your university of what your department offers, right? So go to your university department page and research everything, research all the professors, research all the courses. So if in the study plan you mentioned that after getting admitted, I want to take this course which is taken by this professor in the first semester or in this semester, then you are going to be very specific. And the university people who will be reading this, they'll be really impressed. They'll be like, oh, this person is really interested in my university. She really wants to get admitted. She may be a benefit to my university, kind of like this. So you have to make the readers be impressed after reading your application. So you can do this also. And as I already said, be largely specific. You have to do a thorough research and be very specific about which courses you want to take, which professors you want to work with, etc., etc. What do you want to work with? Like, what do you want to work on? Things like that. Then the future plan. So the first thing is don't tell, describe. So if you want to be a businessman, don't say that after completing my degree, I want to start a business. If you say this, no one's going to believe you. And also sometimes people say that uh, I don't know what to write in my future plan. There's a lot of space left. I don't know what to write because they don't have a plan for their future, because they are saying what they want in the future. They don't have a plan for that. They are not describing, they are just saying. So you need to describe. So rather than just saying, I want to start a business, talk about the whole plan. Talk about like, after completing my degree, I will go to India and for 1 year, I'll talk to this and this person or work or watch, talk to this and go to this and this area to know the market of how the market operation works, and then coordinate with this and this people. So here you're being very specific. So you're describing everything. So I'll buy this material and I'll make this and sell it into this form. If you're talking like this, you're describing everything. So you're doing two things at the same time. You're describing also your whole plan, and you're also being very specific. So why being specific is important? Because if there are two people, person A and person B. So person A says, I want to be a millionaire. And person B says, I want to be a millionaire by selling this and this thing at this rate to these people. So whom do you think has more probability of becoming a millionaire? Of course, it's going to be person B. Now we don't know whether person B is going to be a millionaire or not, but if we look at person B from this point of view, if we look at person B now, we think he is going to be a millionaire because he has a whole plan in his mind, and person A doesn't even know how he wants to be a millionaire. So you have to follow the same principle here. If you're saying that I want to do this, don't just say I want to do this, but be very specific and describe the entire plan of how you want to do this. If you describe the whole plan, you will be convincing the readers, you will be convincing the evaluators that you are going to achieve something good. Okay, then show that you are going to be a really successful man in future or a successful woman in future. So why this is important is that if universities or the government is selecting you for a scholarship, they have a particular conception in their mind that you are going to be successful in future. You're going to serve as an asset for the university or for their country. So how are you going to? They should benefit. They should benefit by selecting you to their university or for their scholarship. So for that, you need to show that you're going to be successful in future. How you're going to show? By being specific, like I already told you, by having a good plan, by being specific. One thing which you should focus on is have big dreams, have big goals. Don't just say that I just want to go and do this, I want to get a good job. Rather than I want to get a good job and earn this and this, have big goals. Set big goals for yourself, which right now, if you look at those goals, it would seem very unachievable for you. Like, I want to work in Google. It will seem very unachievable. And even if you write it in your essay, it's going to seem very unachievable. But if you write it in the essay that I want to be a millionaire by doing this and this and this thing, people are going to believe you, and people are going to believe that you're going to be successful in the future. So you have to convince the readers that you are going to be a very successful man in the future, and they are going to benefit from accepting you. So show them what you can give to them if they select you. Okay, and write it like a year plan. This is a very good tip, because if you're writing your future plan, write it like, after you graduate in year 1, you're going to do this. year 2, you're going to do this. Don't just write it for the sake of writing. Just sit down and make a plan for yourself. And after you have made an year plan, just write it down beautifully on the future plan essay page. Okay, so these were the tips for the essays, because the essays constitute of a very important part of the application. But there are other tips also. Number one is be very careful about the document submission. So what happens is a lot of applicants get rejected in the first round, in the document screening round of the embassy stage. Like they get rejected from the very first round just because they have not submitted their documents like correctly, or they have messed up in the arrangements of the documents. Even if you're submitting the right documents, but you're messing up in the arrangements, there are chances that you are going to get rejected. So be very thorough about the document, like the document submission and document organizing process. Okay, number two is utilize the other document section well. This is very important. Okay, so if you go through the submission application guideline, then you see that there's an other document section wherein you can submit anything you want. So what people think is that they can just submit certificates, that's it. But it's not limited to certificates. Certificates is really important, I would say. But other than certificates, if you've written some book, if you've published some book, you can, like I published a book related to psychology. So I submitted the summary of the book and the cover page of the book. So you can print out the summary and the cover page in one page and submit that. And also, other than that, there are some events, there are some activities which you do, but you don't have a certificate for that. Like if you're volunteering for doing something, if you volunteered for doing something, they are not going to give you a certificate for that every time. But that really meant a lot for you. That was really a big thing. Then you can submit, you can arrange the pictures you had taken of those events, and you can arrange the pictures, write a caption about what the picture is about, and submit that as the other document along with the certificates. So all of these things, think out of the box, be creative, don't be limited to just submitting certificates. Also, if you have some research proposals which you think is really great, go for submitting an abstract of your research proposal. That would be really beneficial, I would say. Don't be limited, you can submit anything in this section. Also, another thing to take note of while you're submitting certificates, please don't submit like 60 or 70 certificates. They're not going to review all of them. You have to sit and sort down which of the certificates mean a lot to you. Like if it doesn't mean it, if you're submitting a lot of certificates, it doesn't mean that you're a great person. If those certificates are just like dance competition or singing competition participation certificates, they are not going to mean anything. So sit down and think which certificates are really meaningful and submit only those. Submitting a lot doesn't guarantee you the GKS scholarship. Okay. The third is be creative. You need to stand out. This is very important. Whatever stage, whatever you're doing in your application, whether you're writing an essay, whether you're submitting your certificates, whether you're talking about your extracurriculars, you need to, before mentioning anything, you need to sit down and think whether whether the other people would also be having the same thing. Am I standing out if I do this? If you're submitting a dance competition certificate, or you say that I did this course from Coursera, then okay, you did a good thing, but don't you think other people would also be doing the same thing? So how are you standing out? Why will people select you over them? So you need to, and also if you're writing an essay, you're writing the same thing, like with very strong English vocabulary, but you're writing just like the same thing, but with strong English vocabulary, it doesn't make sense. You have to write something which will make you stand out. You have to write something very personal, which is your story. So be creative. That's very important for everything. And the last thing is knowing how to portray things is really important. So this is important. Okay, even if you're not a good writer, but you have to be a good writer for your application, for any university you're applying abroad. Why? Because even if you have not, okay, so even if you don't have really good experiences in your life till now, or you can't remember anything like that, Like there are some people who have really good experiences which can, frame a good storyline, but your life is very simple. It doesn't mean that you are at a you're at a disadvantage. It doesn't mean that at all, because what's important is how to portray things. There are some people who don't even have good experiences, but they know how to portray it. And there are some people who have such good experiences, but they don't know how to portray. So it doesn't matter at all. So know how to portray things, even if there was okay, why you want to study business administration? Because one day I saw my father's diary. I was very fascinated to know how things work. So this is not an actual story, but I'm saying this is a very basic thing. But if you portray it in a very beautiful way, like my father said this and the soiled edges of the diary was like this, if you're portraying it in a beautiful way, it's going to mean a lot. Okay. And finally, here I have talked a lot, but I cannot tell you enough about what tips are important, what tips are not important, like what things are not that important. I cannot talk at length about everything, but if you want to know more, also if you want to know how to write your personal statement, how things should go on, then you can check out my social handles. You can check out my YouTube videos. I've made like 4 or 5 YouTube videos about GKS application, and also you can check out my Instagram for more details. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for giving such insightful information to the audience. And I think it's very important for the applicants to select which kind of track is beneficial for them according to their profile, and what kind of documents are required for that respective track. So, moving forward to the third speaker, it's Shikha Kumari. She is also GKS 2024. She's from University Track and pursuing Korean language at the Seoul National University of Science and Technology. Soon she will begin with her master's in data science. She's from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. She also have 3 years work experience. Shika, I hand over you the platform. Please continue your presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Nupur. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Global Korea Scholarship Guideline. I will talk about university track specifically. I had applied by embassy track also, and then after I got failed in the interview, then I tried again with university track. So I'll talk about the university track. Let me share my screen first. Okay. Okay, so the like Neelam and Jannat has already told you about embassy track and university track difference. Basically, university track is where you can directly apply to the university. You don't have to prepare 4 copies, one original, 3 Xerox, and all. In the university track, you can directly send the apostille original document to the university along with the application form and all. And GKS in 2025 on 24 January already the application has started for GKS graduate program, which is for master, PhD and research program, which covers tuition fees, living expenses, airfare and many more. Let's go to the slides. So I'll talk about how the university track works. Basically, you have to fill the application form and then you have to match the eligibility criteria. Specifically, when you're going with the university track, you have to make sure you are checking both the GKS eligibility and the university eligibility criteria. Sometimes the university has different criteria. Like when I was applying in the university track, first I had to apply online in their application portal. After submitting the application, then they sent me the mail to fill the application form, their scholarship, and then send it to the university address. So whenever you are when you are going for university track, read all the requirements in the GKS application form, as well as the go to the particularly university website and read all the given requirements for that. And then after I'll talk about advantage of the university track. Basically, when you apply for university track, you have a like a competition. There are limited seats for embassy track, and along with that, university track. So it's like when you are applying for university track, you get first exposure. You choose university and you apply first, so you get a first exposure first, and then few applications. Like when embassy track, a lot of students apply directly to particular all the same university which you are applying to, so you have a competition there. But in university track you directly apply, so you face a little less competition as compared to embassy track. And third is like step for applying university track process is like first you have to do is find a university which chooses which matches your background, what you want to do. So first you should do like make a list of the program which you want to go ahead. When I was applying, I had in mind in data science and AI both. So first what I did was I make a list what program I want to go, which university I want to go, and which research I want to do. So when you are going to university, you always have questions like you want to based on the priority, like you want to go for the job after your degree or you want to go for the research after your degree program. So I had both of the doubts in that, so I made a list like what I want to do after degree. So basically I wanted to go more in the research program. So if you want to go to the research program, you should go to the university, check the professor what they are doing, and read their papers, read their publications, read the university background, like how much research they are doing. Or like if you want to go to the job, you should go with the high top universities. If you want to go to the research area, you should go to the regional universities. So you should read all the details on that. Then after check the requirements, because sometime when I was applying in the some university has a criteria for like English program, particularly in technical in artificial intelligence. There was like some university was giving English program also, and some were like 50%. So when it's mentioned as 50%, most of the chances are you're going to have your classes are 90% in Korean. And sometimes you will get a chance that where your classes will be in Korean, your professor will speak in Korean only, and you will be allowed to write your papers in English. That reliability can they could give you sometime, but most of the time if it's mentioned as 50%, be sure 99% it's going to be Korean, because they give you training for 1 year. So they it's like you have to write the papers, and mostly the classes will be in Korean. Or sometimes the presentation they which your professor use could be in English and could be in Korean. So you have to be ready. If it's mentioned as 50%, it's not like always 50%. It will be 99%, it will be Korean. Second thing, after checking the requirements, sometime university ask for IELTS also. When in my case, it was mentioned as 50%, and also it was mentioned as that I have to submit IELTS also. So you have to check all the university requirement also, because in the GKS application form, it is not always it's optional. If you have a IELTS certificate, you can submit. It's better. Your chances will be increased. But in sometime university have a criteria, mandate criteria. You have to, like in Yonsei University, if you're going for master's program of like business administration, global programs, there are like you have to submit your IELTS certificate. So check those requirements as well. Then after you have to submit your application, and then your documents go to screening. Then they take an interview. Basically in university track, you go with two interview mostly. One interview which will be taken by university, and the second, it's totally depends on the NIED. If all goes well, they don't take interview. If no, some problem happens or some did more data they need, then they might schedule with interview. That's it. And then final selection will be made by NIED. So second thing is like in quota information, you have to be more careful, because in India this year 44 seats are available for university track, and embassy track the seats are as comparatively less. So you have more seats, more chances. But in that, if you should check also general, RGKS, research and R&D, global, and this. So the total university track for this year is 11,100. This is worldwide for GKS, not for India. It is worldwide for GKS. 44 seats are only for India. So when I was applying, I had chosen general program. General program. So in that, what had happened, my university has sent me a mail asking you had applied for general, but as I come from the science background, I have option to go with R&D program also. In R&D program,
जीकेएस तो
I
सुना
don't.
होगा मैम.
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
हम्म.
Manas, sir, your speaker is on. It's unmuted. You're audible.
Yeah. Okay. So I was talking about the quota. So when I was applying, so my university has sent me a mail asking that I come from a science background, so I have an option to go for R&D program also. I had applied for general program, but they asked me like if I want to go with that, I can go, because in 2023 the seats were only 60, but from 2024 the seat has increased to 300. So the difference between these is like when you go for general program, you have a competition with your own nationality. Like 44 seats are available, and if all 44 are already applicants are already there for 44, you have a competition with them. But if you go for the R&D program, you have only competition with no nationality. Like your academics are matching, if you're eligible to go, you can directly go in. You don't have to compete with your nationality quota. So this is the thing, if you're going for university track, you should keep in mind. And if you're coming from science background particularly, this option is also better, R&D program. Now, the difference I already told you about. In university track, you have to submit only, you can apply only to one university and one department. So be specific. Like when I was applying, I had a doubt also, like should I send both like one at a time, because I failed embassy track. So, but no, you cannot. Once you fail the embassy track, if in case, then only you can send it to the university. And general track is more competitive. R&D track is good alternative you can go with, and the slots are also increased and higher chance of selection. Now, main thing is like university track totally depends on how to choose your advisor in university. If you're going, like if you're more sure about your degree program, if you're like sure about the university which you want to go, what you want to do, go with that. University track is the best option. So first thing, you should finalize your university. If you want to go in research, find the university accordingly. If you want to go on the job, you find a research, find the university accordingly. All the details are available in the website Study in Korea. When the in on 24 January, the list has already mentioned university list. You can check there. All the details are given, like which university, which department, which degree, what are the criteria. Everything's are mentioned carefully. You just have to read properly. Then match your field. Consider the university type A and type B. Type B has regional university and more chances of getting selection. Then check the R&D and general track options. Some universities, like if you're not from the science background mostly, general program is better. Then second, the most important thing is the research advisor. When I was applying, I went to the website and read all, like found the particularly data science. I went to data science department, and then I saw the list of university professors who are teaching, their background, their guest faculties, and the research paper and the publication. Basically, it takes time, but once you read, you find that okay, this is your area where you want to work, or this is the area where you don't have that much interest. When I was applying, I found the data lab and I wanted to join that. So I sent my application to the particular university. And after that, you can also for send a mail to the professor. I'll discuss this about later. And check the language and GPA requirements, particularly because in some area, in some departments, particularly in some degree program, they need more, like average, more than average they want. So statement of purpose is all matters in the when you are sending the email to the professor, or when you are trying to go with the university track. So start with the, as Janet mentioned, start with a good introduction about you, and then make a flow. When you are writing it, make a flow about your introduction, then gradually shift into academic and research background, what you have done. Connect with your goals with Korea and GKS. Demonstrate your research interest, like what research you want to do, why you're choosing this course, why you're choosing this particular professor for your research, all this, and highlight your strengths, address your future plans. That's also very important, what you want to do. Because in SOP, it's in some section, it's mentioned also that you have to mention your future plans, what you want to do after your degree, when you are planning, like when your study plan also. So in that case, or in that section also, you have to mention your future plans, and then proofread and get feedback. Share to your people who knows you, your teacher and professionals, your employer, and read them, and they will give you the feedback better. And then be authentic and passionate, like it should be your error free. Then tips for contacting professor by email. Use clear and professional subject. Do not write in your email subject like I want to join your lab, or like use professional content. You can find it in Google, like what exactly the subject title should be very specific. Then keep it brief and focused. Like in your mail, do not put everything, like what you are, what you want to do. The emails is too long. Introduce yourself, mention your research, state your purpose, and 3 to 4 short paragraphs is enough. And then personalize the email, attach the documents like your CV, academic transcript, and cover letter. Cover letter is very important. In that, you can mention your uh, particularly your technical background and what you want to do, why you're choosing the professor, the relate content related to their research, what they are doing, and what you want to add and what you want to learn from him. So, and then after, it's not like always you will get a reply. I have sent mail to many universities, to many professor, and I have got from 2 to 3 only. So be professional, send them a follow-up review after 7 to 10 days, but it should be kind of reminder, not a particular new mail you should not send, or new content you should not send. A reminder you can send. Then the tips I would say, just a second. So the just a second. Yeah. So the when I was applying, actually I am a 2024. So when I was applying, I have read the 2023 application guidelines very carefully. And then after 2024 when come, I read those also. So read all the instructions carefully. I found when like I have already read 2 to 3 times, but still I found when I was reading 2024 guidelines, I found a changes like when you are submitting your SOP, when you're writing your SOP, when you're writing your statement of purpose, the font style, the text size should that's also matter, so it should be same. And then it is also mentioned as like you should be signed from your professor, like if your professor is signing, the stamp should be there. If your employer is signing your recommendation letter, the stamp should be there, and it should be sealed, and after the seal it should be signed across. So those little things also you have to make sure that you are following each and every requirements. Prepare the document in advance. Like when I was applying, I had done already apostille, my birth certificate, my parents' voter ID cards, passport, and everything I was ready with. And then after, don't wait until the last minute. It's like last time on the 8th February, the application has opened. I have sent the document on 10th. So like that, you should be ready before, like it takes time when you go for the scholarship, when you read your research paper, research of the university, there's a lot of things you need to do before, because sometimes the documents are written in Hindi. So the documents is also a requirement, like documents should be in English also. So if it's in Hindi, you need to be translated. So finish all those tasks, all the main requirements. Ensure SOP and study plans are signed and sealed across when you are sending. Why this happening? Just a second. Okay. Submit a strong and error-free SOP. There should be no grammar mistakes, and it should like in that you can when I was writing, I had a 5 passage. So when I wrote, I found it's like all the passages are going somewhere. It was not connecting. So make sure it has a flow. One passages, one content, because they when you write, there's a instructions are already written. What are the things has to be mentioned? So make a flow on that, and double check embassy and university deadline as they vary, because university have different deadline, and GKS has a different deadline. So check all those deadline and be update and manage the timeline also. That's all from my side for the university track. If you have any doubt and questions, you can drop in the chat box. We'll be able to answer. Thank you. Over to you, Nupur.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shikha, for giving so much of insights about like university track. I also want to add to your presentation. In most of the cases for the research data, which is available in like Korea, if you're doing like a cross-cultural research, or if you're doing project research based in Korea, so a lot of data is available in the Korean. So there is no like you can't take exit from it. So that is very important that you should check the lab and what kind of requirements are there. Plus the courseworks are like high chances are there that that would be in Korean. Even the textbooks, sometimes it can be Chinese too. So you need to see the requirements and what kind of requirements is for your department environment and for your lab. So that is very important. Thank you so much, Shikha. Now let's move forward to speaker 4. It's Shelly Devkare, is from Maharashtra, and she is 2024 KGKS scholar. She's doing Korean language currently as a part of her scholarship and will start soon masters in civil engineering in the upcoming fall semester at Daegu University. She holds knowledge about applying to various other scholarships abroad as well. In her free time, she posts about her life in Korea on YouTube channel as well as Instagram. So, yes, Shelly, please continue with your presentation.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you, Nupur. Thank you for introducing me. And as the KGKS program is new for others, as they know only the GKS program, so I want to introduce about the KGKS scholarship, which has been started from last year. So here's my presentation. I will start the slideshow now. Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the scholarship which is organized by the Gyeongsangbuk-do province. So Gyeongsangbuk-do is a province in South Korea, just like the states we have in India. So the scholarship they are providing is a Global Korea scholarship, which is similar to Global Korea scholarships, but with some of the limitations. And so the introduction to KGKS is it's sponsored by Gyeongsangbuk-do province to attract global talent into South Korea, as there is a serious shortage of human resources in the region due to the population decline. So many of them are moving to the major cities. So there is a serious shortage. So that's why they need to attract global talent to Gyeongbuk region so that many of them can get a job and reside here in Gyeongsangbuk-do province. And this scholarship also supports master's and doctoral studies in science and engineering field. Rather than science and engineering field, students cannot apply to this scholarship. So it is only limited only in science and engineering field, such as the courses in science and engineering fields such as statistics, physics, chemistry, biology, horticulture, and landscape engineering, natural resources, rehabilitation science, food and nutrition, civil engineering, industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, biotechnology, electronic engineering, information and communication engineering, computer and information engineering, IT convergence engineering, environmental and chemical conversion engineering. So, just like these courses, among the four universities, there are different. So these are some of the courses which are like available in Daegu University. And this university, sorry, this the program scholarship program aims to develop skilled professionals for high-tech industries to run for the Gyeongsangbuk-do region. So moving forward to the objectives of KGKS, the objectives of KGKS is, first of all, I told like they need to attract international students to study in Gyeongsangbuk-do region. And because of the high-tech industries which are in the regional area of Korea, so they need workers like professional skilled workers. So they need to educate the international students here in Gyeongsangbuk-do region, and after that they will get a job after the completion of their graduation. And sorry. And they also want to encourage foreign graduates to come and stay and contribute the region, and they will also help you with the visas. And if you are married, so you can also come here with your partner, and the visas and all they will handle with their help of the scholarship. So you can come with your family in this scholarship and reside here in the Gyeongsang-Buk-do region. And the KGK scholarship is already signed up with the various industries, just as POSCO. So you can also get job after working, like after graduation for working here. So moving into the participating universities. So KGK scholarship is only limited for the 4 universities, which is in Gyeongsangbuk-do region. So each university holds a quota of 10 students. So first is Daegu University, which is in Gyeongsang region, and second is Andong National University, which is in Andong, and third is Kumo National Institute of Technology, which is in Kumishi, and the fourth is Pohang University of Science and Technology, which is in Pohang. And moving to the scholarship benefits, the scholarship covers full tuition coverage and one-way airfare to Korea while coming to Korea, and after coming to Korea, it will also provide monthly stipend for living expenses, such as for 1 year of Korean language program, you will get about 11 lakh 75,000 Korean won during the Korean language program for 1 month, and for the degree program, after completing your Korean language program, you will get the stipend about 13 lakhs 8,000 Korean wons for per month after completing the Korean language program during your degree. And while working in your degree program, so if you are doing a research and a development, so your professor can also fund you with the help of the research and development programs. And this scholarships is also giving you a full 1 year Korean language training, which is for 12 months. And there's a benefit, like if you do not get topic 3 for 1 year, so if you have 84 or above marks in topic 3, but you could not crack the topic 3, so you can get a 6 months extension, so you can also study Korean language for 6 more months. But for this, you will get the stipend, but you will need to pay the Korean language fees for 50%. So you will not stop getting your scholarship. And here's the benefit that you can extend your Korean language program for 6 more months. And the main thing here is the post graduation commitment which KGKS provides. So, while applying for KGKS, you need to keep in mind that if you have been graduating from the specified university in KGKS program, you need to stay here for 3 more years. You cannot go back to your country. You can go just in the holidays, but you need to stay here for 3 years and work here for 3 more years in the Gyeongsangbuk-do region, only in the Gyeongsangbuk-do region. You cannot go somewhere else like Busan or Seoul, or you can work there. No, you just need to be in Gyeongsangbuk-do province for 3 more years. You can get the job anywhere like Daegu, Kumi, Pohang, anywhere in this region. But you need to work for 3 more years here. Or you can, like if you are a master student, you can also join for 3 more years for PhD. Or if you are like if you can also research and all, so you can study for more 3 years. And after that, until we get a job after the graduation, we will also get benefit of, like, they will also give us stipend after we graduate. Like in GKS, they don't provide a stipend after the graduation. We need to do everything by our own self. But in KGKS, they are providing us with the stipend until when we get our scholarship. So here's also the benefit. And the job is also provided by the tie up with the other companies in KGK scholarship. So they will support for job placement in high-tech sectors. And the eligibility criteria for this scholarship is, first of all, you need to be a non-Korean citizen, and your parents should must hold citizenship from another country other than Korea. So, uh, and for this, you need to be under 40 years old. As this scholarship is only limited to graduated students, not undergrad students. So you need to be under 40 years old. If you are 40 or more, you cannot apply to this scholarship. And for masters, if you want to apply for masters, you need to hold a bachelor's degree. And if you are applying to PhD, you need to hold a master's degree. And for this scholarship, same as the GKS, you need to have 80% or above on a 100-point scale or ranking in the top 20% of the class. And if this is not possible, sometimes you don't know about the GPA scales. And when we convert all of our, like, I'm from an engineering background. So from the first semester to the last semester, when I converted my CGPA into the GPA scale, so my GPA was much more than the percentage. So it's better if you calculate your GPA beforehand, and the percentage is a different criteria and a GPA is different criteria. So if you apply from the GPA, so GPA is equal, your GPA should be equal to or above 2.64 on the scale of 4.0 and 2.80 on the scale of 4.3 and 2.91 on the scale of 4.5 and 3.23 on the scale of 5. And the students need to be good physical and mental health, and this is majorly required. Like if we come in Korea and you're not healthy, you cannot study. So if you do not study well, like there is like limitations. You will get 3 warnings after coming here. If you get like 3 warnings, the scholarship will get declined. So you need to be in proper good physical and mental health. And the documents which are required to apply for KGK scholarship, the first document is application form. Application form will like start from February till April. So you can apply in between that. And first of all, the required form will be application form. And after that, the academic transcript and certificate. So if you are like if you are a master, if you want to apply for masters, you need to have a bachelor degree. So you need to apostille your academic transcript of bachelor's degree and academic graduation certificate of like bachelor degree. Then only you can apply to master's degree. And the same for doctoral degree, like PhD. If you want to apply, so you need to have academic transcript and graduation certificate of master's, and then only you can apply for PhD. And after that is the personal statement and study plan. So these two are the main, like Jannat and Neelam, we like explain about this. So you got to know more about this from them. So I will just give you an overview about this. So personal statement should be your personal thing. You need to explain, like not in an explain way, just like you need to tell them a story about your personality, how you are, like how they get to know you. So about that, you need to show about your personal statement and the study plan, like why do you want to study, like how will you study and what are your plans after studying. So the past, future and present, you need to cover all in the study of plan. After that, you need a letter of recommendation. You can take a letter of recommendation from your like uh, teacher where you were studying in the specified college. And after that, you need to provide proof of citizenship. And here you need to provide your proof of citizenship both to your parents and the applicants. So many of students don't know about this, like the applicant do also need to show the proof of citizenship rather than the passport of copy of the passport. So you can also submit your birth certificate or your voter ID, which should be apostille. Without apostillation, you cannot send your document. And same for your parents. If you give your parents birth certificate or voter ID, you need to apostille this before sending the document. And for parents, if you are like providing the passport copies of your parents, so for passport copies, you don't need to apostille the passport copies. You can like directly send the passport copies of your parents. And the next point is language proficiency certificates. If you have topic, TOEFL, IELTS, any of them, it will help you to like get selected in this scholarship. So it will be a help. And there is also a criteria of getting points if you have language proficiency certificates. So it will be better if you have IELTS, TOEFL, or topic. So you need to attach your certificate while sending the documents. And the most important is passport copy. Even if it's written like the passport copy is not required, if it's available, you just need to like send it if you have it, the passport copy. But I will say like if you have the passport copy, it will be the better. So make your passport beforehand before sending the documents. And next, forwarding to the documentation process. The documentation process, as I said, the authentication is the most important thing. Like we cannot just send our documents directly to the university. We need to properly arrange the documents in a correct order and submit as per the guidelines. Like in between the guideline, there is mentioned that the deadline is from February to April. So we need to send the document between February to April. So you need to keep in the mind that deadline is the furthermore important thing. And the documents which need to apostille should be apostille. And the translation of documents, like the documents which are not in English or Korean, like we have like many states in India, so every state holds a different language. So if your certificate is not available in English, so I just suggest you that you need to first like consular confirm it, and afterwards you translate and get a certified translation and apostille the translation document. And main important thing is submit the document in a correct order. If you do not do this, like I don't know if you can get selected, but they look about they just look at your the documents, and if they are not arranged properly, so it may affect your selection. And furthermore is application process. So the application process is just the same, but you need to choose a university only from these four available universities, and you need to check the requirements specifically by visiting the website of the universities. And sometimes the university may need another document, so you need to check properly like the prepare necessary documents. And the the submitting is different than GKS. Like in GKS there are two tracks for application. First is embassy and second is university. But in KGKS, there is no such track. So for application, you just need to go to the website of the particular university and then submit application through the university portal. You just need to apply from the university portal. You cannot apply somewhere else. And after the selection, the interview will be held, and after the approval from the university and the government, like government is Gyeongsang-pukdo province government. So this is a regional scholarship. So after approval of the university, the application will be sent to the government of Gyeongsang-pukdo province, and after the approval from them, the scholarship confirmation and the visa process will get started. So the selection process is like the announcement of the guideline and selection of university will be from the December and January. Like they will decide like which universities are available for the KGKS program, and the first round of selection will get started from February to April. So you need to send your documents in from February to April. You cannot like send afterwards after April or before February. Your application will not get selected if you do so. And after the first round of selection, the candidates will get recommended to Gyeongsang government, and after recommendation the second round will get started, and the announcement will be near like the end of the May. So it will get started like from the third week of May to last week of May. And afterwards the final announcement of scholars will be June. The this date is from last year, so the date can get changed for this year. And as GKS announcement are much later than this, so we can get to know about KGKS much more earlier than GKS. And for the last, the tips I need to share is you please do not do duplicate submissions. Like here are only for universities. And as mentioned in the guidelines, even if you apply to two universities, even after you get selected, but if you get selected and you have applied to two universities, you will get rejected after your submission. So please keep in mind, do not duplicate submissions. You need to just go over the university and choose the university. You uh, choose the university which is perfect for you, which are providing your courses. So go through the university portal before applying, and just only after that please apply to the specific university. And please be ensured that your documents are correct, and the arrangement of documents is properly. And after that, the as I said earlier, the application deadlines is most necessary. So meet the application deadlines by time. And after that, submit clear apostille documents. As I told, your parents proof of citizenship, and yourself proof of citizenship, and your academic transcript and your academic certificates. Please make them clear and make them apostille before sending your documents. This is the most necessary step. If you do not apostille your documents, you will not get selected even if you have all your documents. And before applying for any of your course, rather than just selecting the universities, please research about the professor and the courses which are provided by the specific universities. And please please check about the university, what facilities the university is providing, and what are the researchers about the professors and all, and then only apply to the specific university. And the last thing is, if you are good in English or you do know Korean, so please try to give your English proficiency examination before applying for the scholarship program. Because as last year when we get selected, there were like I even gave IELTS before coming here. So while they interview, they asked me like if I want to go to the degree directly, not by doing the Korean language program. So they will ask you, and if you have like limited years, you want to complete your degree much more faster. So you don't need to waste your time for learning Korean, but it is helpful. Learning Korean is helpful, but if you do not want to waste time in learning Korean, or do you know Korean much more than, so you do not need to learn Korean like that. If you do not want to waste your time for one more year, you can submit your English document and English proficiency document and Korean proficiency document. So it will help you a lot. So, and if you want to know much more about KGK scholarship and want to know about the life in Korea, like how is life in Korea got when you reach in Korea. So whenever I used to think like after watching many of YouTube videos and all, like how will I survive there? Will I be alone and all? If you want to get connected with me, so here are my socials. You can connect with me at YouTube, Instagram, and if you want to know much more about the KZK scholarship, you can also contact me for the help for KGK scholarship. Just that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelly, so much for telling us about like the necessity of having a topic or IELTS or like TOEFL certificate, because it's going to enhance the profile for the applicant. As well as I want to add one part that in GKS we have to maintain the CGPA after we come to our graduate school. If we don't maintain the CGPA, which is required like 80%, you might get the warning from NID like 3 times, and then your scholarship will be cancelled. So you have to be very serious towards your study, as well as what she said about like to get level 3, otherwise you get like an extension. So if you get level 3 in July, till July if you get, you will have an extension, but you will get the full stipend. So if say you are applying for master, so 3 years of scholarship plus 6 months extra, you get the full scholarship. So I think, but you have to like, it's very difficult. I've seen a lot of people going back to their countries because they were not able to get topic 3 even after the extension. So make sure that you really study hard. So moving forward to speaker 5, Suman Yadav. She's from Delhi and she is GK Scholar 2024. She's currently doing her Korean language and later she will pursue PhD in Western History at SNU. She had 4 years of working experience as a guest lecturer in University of Delhi. Suman, head over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Since we don't have a lot of time, so I will just quickly start by a presentation and give you a insight of how your life gonna be if you get selected in GKS and how you're gonna survive in Korea. So I think we should start it. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Mm, Okay. Um, is it visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
audible. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's get started. So basically, if you receive this scholarship, either KGKS or GKS, the real struggle starts because now you're going to survive in Korea as an Indian or maybe as an international student. So there are many things that you need to prepare beforehand before coming to Korea, as well as after coming here. You need to prepare a lot of things in your mind, mentally as well as physically. You need to prepare yourself. Okay. So first thing is, follow the NIID and university guidelines sent through email and stay updated. The moment you get selected, you will receive the guidelines and the emails by NIID or your university, and you have to follow all those basically process that they're gonna ask you, so that you need to apply for other stuff before coming here. So first thing is submission of health certificate. So earlier what happened was you need to submit a lot of health certificates, but now you don't have to submit a lot of stuff. You just have to do a TB negative, like a TB test, like negative result, a measles vaccination certificate if you have any since your childhood, or you have to do a measles vaccination like test report. So you need to prepare both of these because your university as well as NIID gonna ask you this. Plus, your visa requirement is also associated with these health certificates, because you have to submit these kind of health certificates in your visa application as well. And also the visa application, they want you to do these kind of these tests through a certain like labs, like Dr. Lal Path Lab, and there are like one or two other labs where you have to go and get these tests done. So you cannot just go any random path labs or hospital and get these tests done, because you need to go only to the designated centers and get these tests done. So the cost will be around 2,000 to 3,000. Like both of tests will get done within this kind of range. So yeah. Second is stipend details. Like other scholars have already mentioned about these things, but the thing that you have to keep in mind after coming to Korea is like every month on 20th you will receive your stipend, but before receiving it, every month you have to fill a form and then you have to submit it, and then on 20th you will receive your stipend. And then the moment you will receive your stipend, you have to pay your dorm fees plus your insurance, and whatever remains is going to be your own like stipend. You have to like use it like however you want. So for graduate you can see like this much, and for masters and phd you will receive like 1.2 million per month and 1.31 million per month. Third is visa application, which is very important. Again, I will like I would like to like focus on, just please go through the basically emails that are going to send to you by the university. So you have to be very careful, and you have to be very updated when it comes to your Gmail account. Okay. Third is visa application. So you have to prepare documents sent by NIID. They will send you your documents, so you don't have to worry about whatever documents they're going to send you. You have to like print it out. Also, you have to apply for the visa. Example, VFS Global in Delhi. I applied through VFS Global because it's one of the most popular platform, or maybe the only platform which basically deals with the Korean like visa application. You have to download, fill, and submit the documents. No visa fee for GKS applicant, but still you have to pay some amount for the, I think for some kind of like application. I don't know, but just little bit amount. But like visa fee, you don't have to pay like 8 or 9,000 plus. So yeah, plus. Uh, in my case, my university send an email and ask me to join a Google Classroom, and they will update everything on that Google Classroom. But it depends on university to university how they're gonna contact you. So also you have to make sure like how your university is going to contact you through Google Classrooms, through emails, or anything like any group or Kakao, because they may ask you to download and like share like your Kakao ID. So maybe they will try to contact you through Kakao, as my university did also. Fourth is language test. Those who have no knowledge of Korean language, you don't have to worry because you have to start from the scratch. So you will start from level 1 in Korea. But those who have already studied like level 2 or 3 or intermediate, you have to give the language test, and it depends on what kind of result you're going to get, and they will like interview you maybe or may not interview you. It depends on your university. So they will allot you a level, and then you have to start from that level in Korea. If you have not studied Korean before, they will put you in level 1. If they will provide you the details of your language class through emails or like however they want to contact you. Fifth is dormitory accommodation information. So you don't have to apply for anything. You're gonna get a lot your room. No need to direct apply for dorm fee payment detail. They will send you all the dorm fee payment detail. But the thing is like for some university they will ask you to pay the dorm fee before you come to Korea, like uh, because as applicant we joined like many Indian like WhatsApp groups, and there we get to know that some university are asking them to pay dormitory fees before coming to Korea. And some university, they're just like, okay, you just come here, and then the moment you will start receiving your dorm like stipend, you can pay after that. But some university, they may ask you to pay your dorm fee before coming to Korea. So you need to mentally prepare yourself that you have to pay your dorm fee to the university before coming to Korea. Each university has different rules and regulations. So each university asks you to like they have different rules and regulations. So they're gonna ask you about the dorm fee like in a different manner. Like SNU don't ask you to pay beforehand, but some university may ask you to pay the dorm fee before coming to Korea. Also, the flight reservation. So basically, you have to follow the university guideline for flight reservation. They will ask you like what kind of flight you want, because everyone from India coming from a different region. Some come from like Delhi, so you need a direct flight. Some of you are coming from South, so you may need to change a flight. So it depends on like your location. So they will ask you about this, and then purchase necessary stuff. So what are the stuff that you can carry with you is like dry food. If you're vegetarian, you can bring dry food, like chips, snacks, etc. Vegetables, like fresh vegetables, do not carry, it's not allowed. So you cannot bring this like fresh vegetables with you. Plug adapter, it's very important because all the chargers and the like all the like chargers that we have, we use in like India, it's not going to work here. So make sure to bring a plug adapter type E or F, because this is how the Korean like plugging system works. Third is some medicine or first aid stuff. If you are like, if you're like allergic to something, just bring some medicines with you in emergency for like vomiting and like headache, like fever. So just bring some medicine if you want to. Anything that is allowed to carry in your flight. Check your flight details or guidelines for items that are allowed and not allowed. So make sure whichever flight you're going to take, just check their rules, regulation, and guideline before taking any stuff with you. Eighth is prepaid SIM card and internet connection. Of course, you're gonna stay here, so you need basically a SIM card or basically a number to connect with your family. So first, I would recommend you to buy international roaming pack for your Indian number, as I did. So it's better if you buy international roaming pack, so that even if you don't have a Korean number, you can at least try like use your international like Indian number. The second is pre-book your Korean SIM card from India. Like there are many Instagram account like Chingu, Wuri Mobile. You can just go to their Instagram account, text them, and like text your situation, your like introduce yourself, what kind of plan you want, and they will like ask you like where do you want your SIM card. They will just like send you or deliver your card like on like in like Incheon airport. So basically they will deliver your Korean SIM card at the airport, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can receive it from Incheon airport directly, because there are some like inside like stalls of different mobiles, so you can just go there and ask your like SIM card and they will give you. Another one is money exchange. Of course, when you're coming from India to Korea, you cannot come here like empty handed. You have to have some cash in your hand, because like the moment you arrive here, it's not like you're going to get your stipend like on the first day. Of course not. You need to have some cash. I would recommend you to bring some cash around like 30,000 to 50,000 in your hand, so that you can do a little bit of shopping and you can buy some necessary stuff. What you have to do is it's very difficult to get like Korean won in India. So what we did, like most of the GK scholar we did was we exchanged rupee into dollar. Like there are like many exchange services like Orient Exchange. They're gonna exchange your rupee into dollar in a very cheap rate, and then you can bring those dollars in Korea, and you can exchange some cash. Do not exchange all the cash in Incheon airport, because the airport exchange rates are very high. So don't do that. Just a little bit amount, like maybe $100, maybe just exchange this much cash at the airport, and rest you can just go to any exchange service shop in Seoul, and then you can get it with a lot more like cheaper rate. So don't exchange everything at the airport. Next is download useful apps. So apps like Papago, as you may already know, like many of you who learn Korean language, you know this app called Papago. It's very good. It's better than Google Translation, I believe. Next is Kakao Talk. So Kakao Talk is very important. My university personally asked me, like they email us and they said like you have to like download this Kakao Talk and you have to make your Kakao ID and let us know, because we have created like a Kakao group for all the students, so that we can allot you the dorm, and we can communicate you on that Kakao Talk. The third is Naver Map. Of course, it's like Google Map, so it's not that difficult to use. It's just like Google Map, but it's Google for Korea. Another one is Kakao T. It's like Uber or Ola. It's Kakao Taxi, so you can book like your taxis in Korea. if you're coming with a lot of luggage, you don't want to travel through bus, you can just use this Kakao Tea or maybe just hire a taxi at the airport. Another one is arrival in Korea. So basically, after you arrive in Korea, transportation to reach to your university from airport, it depends again from university to university. Either they will send like a transportation for you to travel to your university, or like in our case, we have to reach our university dormitory on our own. So they already mentioned that we're not going to send any transportation, so you have to be very careful. If they're going to send you, then it's fine. If not, you have to travel on your own from airport to your university. So make sure to go through the updates and notification, whatever they're going to send you, and be very careful. When you come to Korea, you have to travel on your own for the first time as well. Second is Korean bank account. You don't have to worry about that as well. University will provide you the document. You have to just go to the office when you reach your dormitory. On the first day, you will have your orientation. They will give you documents like your university business registration certificate, etc., etc. Like you will have your GKS like certificate, your scholarship certificate. You just have to collect all those documents from your office, and you just have to go to that bank that they're gonna assign you, and everything. The bank like employees, they will do everything because they do it every year, so they know the stuff. So next is apply for ARC. Yeah, because alien registration card is very important. Like first few months we were like really restricted because we cannot do shopping online in Korea. We cannot do a lot of things online in Korea because everything requires alien registration card. If you don't have ARC, you literally cannot do anything online. I mean, for shopping at Kupang, it was very challenging for us too because we didn't have ARC, but somehow we managed to do it the other way. But in like correct ways, just to like through alien registration card. So a lot of apps like online applications, you can't run without alien registration card. So you need to apply for this, but follow university instruction. Again, they will provide you the documents to apply and the process you have to go through to apply for alien registration card. Everything university will take care of it. You just have to make sure to follow and listen to their guidelines. So yeah. Next one is transportation card. This is something that you have to do it yourself. Get T-Money card for buses and metro traveling. Like in India, we have like metro cards in, and we buy tickets in buses. But here, no. In buses, you cannot buy tickets. You have to have a T-Money card. A card you can buy from CU or any convenience stores. You can just recharge it and you can use it in buses and metro. For Seoul, the people who are going to study in Seoul and living in Seoul, there is climate card. I actually recently know about this climate card. So it's also like T-Money card. So it's only for the Seoul city and it's quite reasonable. So this card is very nice. You have to just fill it once in a month and you can like use it unlimited. The next is 15th is garbage throwing system. As an Indian, it's really, really something that's very shocking, and it's very like uh, enlightening for us, especially for me too, because here you cannot throw garbage just like that. You have to buy garbage bags and you have to separate your garbage. Like for general waste, you have to buy a white color like poly bags and you have to put like general waste in that. For food, any food like liquid food, for solid food like for snacks, you cannot throw it just like that. You have to buy a yellow color poly bag. You have to throw like all your food stuff in that. So this is how you're going to throw your garbage. So you have to separate them, the like for the paper, plastic, uh, for hard plastic. So you have to separate those garbage and then you have to throw it. If you don't do it, you may get either penalty or maybe fine, because as a GK scholar, you may get penalty. So be careful about that. 16 is where to buy personal items in budget. So as I mentioned, like you cannot get your stipend the moment you come here just like that. So you have to have your budget on your hold like really strongly. So the moment you arrive here, you need some stuff to buy, which is very essential. So just go to Daiso and buy like stuff, whatever you need. Daiso is like, it's a must have companion in Korea. it's basically it's very like huge, like convenience store sort of, like it's a departmental store as well. So it has branches everywhere in Korea, and this store has everything you need, from utensils, from toilet, like for like everything, literally you name it, and it's there in Daiso. And everything is under 1000 to 5000 Korean won. Nothing is beyond 5000 Korean won. So you literally have everything. And especially like in Myeongdong, it's like 12 floor Daiso. So you literally have everything from kids stuff, from stationery, from like notebooks and stuff to everything. Next is no brand for food and grocery. You can go to the no brand store. It's a little bit cheap. Next is Lotte Mart. It's also an option for food and grocery. You can get some vegan and vegetarian stuff there. Another one is download Coupang, Temu, AliExpress apps for online shopping. But again, you need to have ARC for these apps to use. Another one is cheap shopping areas for students. Is like there are underground shopping mall at Express Bus Terminal station in Seoul. So if you want to go to shopping, if you come here as a GK scholar, you need to visit these places because you cannot buy branded like stuff here. As a student, your budget is very limited. Another one is Dongdaemun markets like Sungmyeon Underground Shopping Center in Busan, the Myeongdong Market in Seoul. So these kind of like are your go-to place as a student. Another one is topic requirement for degree program. So you need to obtain topic 3 certificate or more as per your department requirement before the end of language program to continue your degree program. So you have to have topic level 3. If you receive topic 5 or above within the 6 month, like if you just like joined, if you come to Korea and within 6 months you get topic level 5, congratulations, your stipend will get improved like 20%, like 261,000 Korean won, you will get extra in your stipend. So make sure to work hard and get topic 5 or above within 6 months. If no level achieved, like you have spent 1 year, entire year studying and you didn't receive anything like topic level 3, but at least you have received 84 marks in your last topic. So what you can get is you can get like 6 month extension of language program, and they will still give you like monthly stipend, but you have to get topic level 3 after your like 6 month extension. So they're not going to extend like again and again. So make sure, I would recommend you to please just get topic 3 within 1 year, or topic level 5 plus within 6 months if you want 20% extra stipend, which is a lot. So lastly, my tip, some tips are manage your monthly stipend like your expenses. It's very important to manage your stipend, because the moment you come here you're like, oh my god, everything is so good, I need to buy this. No, just try to manage your expenses. If you love to travel and explore Korea, if you really like, if you're an extrovert, love to explore, just make sure to carry some extra money with you, because it's going to be very difficult for you to travel like every single day and like go to Busan and blah blah blah. So just carry some extra money with you, or save your stipend a lot. For vegetarians like me, learn some cooking skills. Please do this. Vegetables and fruits are are available in the local areas. Like you just roam around and you will find some local areas where you can get some foods and like fruits. Marts like Walmart, Lotte Mart, GS Fresh, they're like almost like everywhere, I guess. So you will get fruits and vegetables there in a reasonable price, I guess. Indian restaurants available everywhere in Korea with vegetarian options, so you don't have to worry about Indian food. If you're craving for Indian food, you can get it there, like in Indian restaurants. Last one is vegan Korean and Western restaurants are also good option to eat for vegetarian. So if you're a vegetarian, they're like vegan Korean restaurants and vegan Western restaurants, which are also good options for vegetarians to try something new vegetarian. So you can do that too. So yeah, this is my presentation of post GKS application. Like the moment you arrive here and after arrival, these are some things that you need to know. So I will rest my presentation here and give it back to you, Miss Nupur.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much for the insightful details. And of course, it's very much important to have an estimate idea about like what kind of finance is required for the initial process and for the post after the selection of the GKS procedure. So moving further, I would also like to open like the session for the like question and answers. So I would ask the viewers to raise their hands, which is like there in the reaction. You can see in the reaction there's a reaction key over here, and you can just like you can select the hand gesture, and we will like select 5 people in total to take questions. If someone has a question, please like react to the recognize hand question, which is just next to the chat box, and we will unmute you and you can like ask the question. Pravati has raised her. Okay, Pravati. Pravati, can you unmute yourself? Yeah, I think you're okay. She left. Anyone else? I can't see anyone. Okay, Pranjul Sharma. Okay, Pranjul Sharma. Yes, Pranjul, we can hear you.
Okay, hi, good evening.
Good evening.
So, I do have this question for Miss Suman because, firstly, I like her presentation. And yes, I do have this one question about the money exchange. I know it's too early, but I have that. So
Yes.
basically, it is like as she told, like we cannot go for money exchange on airport directly, or we can go to Seoul and do it over there. So can you just let me know about more that? Because is it not possible like we can exchange the money on Indian airport itself? Yeah, thanks.
Um, See, at Indian airport, I don't think like they have Korean won or not, because I personally I can share my experience is that I did not like exchange my money at the airport, because I like we keep on hearing that at airport the exchange rates are very high, so you're not gonna get like the good amount of cash in your hand, because you're gonna spend a lot of money as an exchange rate. You can do so if you want, but you can do it at like at the Korean air, like Incheon airport rather than Indian airport, because I don't know if Indian airport they do have a counter for the Korean won. I don't know, but if anyone any GK scholar who has done that, you can just let them know. But what you can do is that if you're from like I don't know from which state you are, but if you're from Delhi, because I am from Delhi, so I went to like Orient Exchange. They have very good exchange rates, like very, very good. Like I think like 50 rupees to 100 rupees. I mean, less than 100 rupees. So they will exchange your money within like very cheap rates. So you can just get dollars from them, and then you can come to Korea at Incheon Airport. Just go to them, give them $100, and they will in exchange they will give you some Korean won. But I would recommend you not to exchange all your money at Incheon Airport, because again, their exchange rate is also very high. So just a little bit for your traveling purposes, or maybe your first stay, like your like food and stuff, you can just very limited amount you can exchange, very limited amount. But I would recommend you not to exchange all your cash at the airport. Anyone like any GK scholar
Yeah,
can
I would.
highlight this.
Yeah, I would like to add that if you want, you can change your currency at the Indian airport also. But also another alternative is that you can change your
Indian rupees directly into Korean won from India itself, which is okay. There are not a lot of options, not a lot of currency exchanges which convert from rupee to won, but if you find, you will get one. Also, one of the easiest thing you can do is contact your bank. Your bank will give you either your bank can give you the contact of for the currency exchange company which does that, or they will just give you they'll just convert the currency themselves for you. So if you want, you can go for this directly converting it into Korean won from your bank, or you can convert it into dollars also, asking your bank or a currency exchange rather than the Indian airport. You can do it on the Indian airport, but it's going to be very expensive. So if you do it from a currency exchange company, it's going to be cheap. Yeah.
Basu sir, I would like you to answer this question because I think you are very much serious, so very much a senior person, so who can guide the upcoming aspirants about this particular question rather than us giving about it because you have a lot of experience. So please.
Yeah, thank you, Nupurji. It's like about currency, please don't worry so much. When you come at the airport, Indian airport, you can ask them. So if they have Korean ones, they will give you. Otherwise, please convert to the US dollar when you arrive to the Korea. There you can exchange required amount. That's it. It's very simple. Okay. Thank you. Nupurji, please go
Yes.
ahead for next question.
Thank you so much for the insightful answer. And now I think I will take Pravati. Pravati was because she disconnected. So Pravati, can you I have unmute you. Can you speak? Can you speak now? Pravati, can you speak? I have unmuted you already. Okay, I will shift to Professor M.V. Shankar. Yes, Professor M.V. Shankar, can you
Yes.
please proceed with your question?
So, thank you so much for very insightful information by the uh, team of people. It's you're given very interesting information about master and a PhD. I don't know, but it's a bit out of the subject regarding the internship for the BTech student who is in India. We like to do it here. The question to Ms. Shika Kumari, who is working now in so studying BTech masters in SNU now. Actually, I'm here in Seoul only, in Konkuk University.
Yeah. So,
So,
yeah,
yes. So I
please
have sent
continue.
you the message. So a candidate, my son is doing BTech in India. He want to do internship in Seoul National University in artificial intelligence. So is it possible to give me some mentorship for this purpose to give the information about the research expertise of the professors? I saw in the website it's not very thorough, not updated in the Seoul National University Computer Science Department.
Okay.
So I can contact you maybe later as well.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I am in Seoul National University of Science and Technology. There's a Seoul Tech, and the SNU is different, and Seoul Tech is different. I can talk about
Okay.
my university. So it's
Okay.
like I do not have more idea about internship program, like they are providing an internship program or not, but the research programs are really good. The professors have the backgrounds are really good. There's a two professor where I am more interested to join their labs. They are particularly from
Sorry to interrupt, but I think sorry to interrupt because since you are still a GKS scholar, I think it's much better that Reddy sir can like respond to it because he's research
yeah.
assistant professor. So can you respond
Yeah.
about the internship? I mean, that would be more insightful. Sorry to interrupt, Shika, but I think it's much better.
Uh, Hello. Thank you, Shika Nupurji. Sir, like we can like your question is like beyond our the current session scope. In terms of internship, you need to approach the university. This is only the best way. So the GKS cannot do anything about the internship. GKS will deal for the undergraduates and masters and PhD, as well as some research like 6 months or like 1 year visiting. So therefore, I recommend you please follow our other sessions. If more possibly, we will guide you in the future. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Deva. Thank you.
Okay, I think now we will just take a last question. Nimisha Solanki. Yes, you can speak now.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, my question is, can you quickly give the information about which documents must be notarized and apostilled?
Sorry, I couldn't get your question. You are asking me or one of our speaker?
It's fine. Whoever can give me the answer, that will be fine too.
Can you
Because all
repeat?
of you are very experienced.
Sorry, can you repeat your question again?
Yes, ma'am. My question is, which documents must be notarized and apostilled? Like,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so for apostille, if you are applying for PhD, you have to apostille your master's degree as well as your bachelor's degree. In my case, because I'm from 2021 batch, so what I did, I can share my experience. I have apostille all my transcripts of bachelor's as well as of my master's along with the degrees. So that was the case, but for the Scalaro kind of a thing, which if your university doesn't give a kind of a stamp on the Scalaro thing and you have to convert it, then you can just get it notarized and that will work because you already have your transcript as an apostille. So that thing works.
Okay, and what about top 20 certificate and birth certificate? Both these certificate must be notarized and apostilled, right?
In my case, I think Shreya or Suman, somebody can answer this. In my case, the birth certificate was not asked for the apostille. We could just submit it because it was a government certificate. As well as for the other, this thing, for the birth certificate, and which one did you mention the other?
A top 20 certificate. I
top
guess
20 top
Sriya
20%
ma'am will be.
certificate. Yeah, top 20% certificate you can just get from your masters if you're applying for PhD. If you're applying for the masters, then get it from your bachelor's. Like your department can give it and your professor or HOD can sign it, so that works.
No, ma'am. Actually, I've got it. Can I get the answer from Shriya ma'am? Will that be fine too?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so for the birth certificate from, okay, it was different for Nupur's case, but for this time, it's for these years you have to apostille your birth certificate. And regarding the top 20 certificate, you don't need to apostille that because you're already apostilling your mark sheet as well as your transcript with whatever you're submitting. So you're already apostilling a graduation certificate as well as your transcript or mark sheet. So you don't need to apostille the top 20% certificate which you have. Is that your question? Did you get an answer?
Yes, ma'am. I've got the answer. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think we have to wrap up the session now because of the time limit. It's already 8:30 and like all our executive, like all the team members of ISRK as well as the speakers, like we have our like own work and we are spending Sunday for this also and of course all the audience. So I would like now to invite Professor Vasudev Reddy to give vote of thanks and he's Vice President of ISRK Education and Student Affairs. He's working as an international professor at School of Chemical Engineering, Yeongnam University at Daegu, with 15 years experience in energy conversion and storage. Professor Reddy has made significant contributions to both academia as well as the industry. So I would invite Professor, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Neetaji. Good afternoon and evening to all Indian and Korean attendees. As we come to close of this insightful and inspiring 2025 Global Korean Scholarship GKS webinar, it is my great honor to extend a grateful vote of thanks to everyone who made this event a success. First and foremost, I would like to express my deep gratitude to the National Institute of International Education, NIIED, and Korean government for their unwavering support in providing this prestigious scholarship that opens a door for students worldwide. Your commitment for posting global talent and academic excellence is truly commendable. A special thanks to all our distinguished speakers, Neelam and Jannat, Shika, Shaili, and Suma, and the host Nupur, who took their time to share their valuable insights, guidance, and experience. Your words have not only enlightened our attendees but also inspired them to take the next step in their academic journey in South Korea. To all participants, whether you are aspiring scholars or current students, thank you for your enthusiasm, engagement, and thoughtful, provoking questions. Your curiosity and eagerness to learn make an event like this meaningful and impactful. I also want to extend my appreciation to the organizing team, technical support staff, like particularly our president, Dr. Iqbal, and vice president for culture, Dr. Manas, and vice president for sports, Dr. Dilip, and our other executive members for their hard work behind the scene and ensuring that today's webinar runs smoothly. Your dedication has made this seamless and enriching experience for everyone. Lastly, to those who are dreaming to becoming a GK scholar, I encourage you to keep striving for excellence. This scholarship is not just an opportunity, it is a gateway to incredible academic, cultural, and professional experience in South Korea. Once again, thank you all for being a part of today's webinar. We look forward to seeing you success in your GKS journey. Thank you and Kamsahamnida.
Thank you all. So we end the session now. Thank you us for joining, and we have provided you the link so you can join us at the various social media groups. Thank you everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.